So whilst the cast and characters of the menu are absolutely incredible, and the culinary dining experience that you go on with all of these characters is a true chef's kiss, I do have to say, I feel like the psychological thriller aspects, as well as the social commentary that this movie is trying to give, have just been better done elsewhere. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video, we are going to be breaking down The Menu, which is an ensemble psychological thriller movie featuring the rich and elite being invited to this exclusive island with a celebrity chef, where things begin to take a bit of a sinister turn. And I can see why this movie is getting a lot of award buzz, as it is really, really great, especially all of the performances, the twisted character reveals, and of course the excellent social commentary. I do have to say though, I do think that this movie is pretty overrated, as I have seen all of these things being better done elsewhere, but let's mainly focus on the social commentary that this film is trying to communicate. So firstly, society striving in all walks of life, but mainly within the culinary world, just trying to acquire perfectionism and moving up the ranks, and this coupled with people being really judgmental snobs just means that the service industry is just sucked of all of the fun, the enjoyment, and the love and passion that people go into this sector for initially, and all of the criticism and constant complaining and unappreciation of all of the heart and soul that all of the service industry people put into their work. All of the rejection, especially from the rich snob community, just makes them feel like they haven't really got much to live for. Another bit of commentary was on the fact that everybody sins, but the rich and elite feel as if they are above this and feel like they can get away with all of their sins, and when it is literally presented to them, they still try to dismiss it. I thought Nicholas Hoult's character was actually pretty fascinating in terms of somebody who's trying to come across as, you know, being on the same level as all of these workers, and just always thinks that he knows more than everybody else, doesn't really want to listen to the rules that he's been given, and he kind of thinks that he is on the expertise level, but when push comes to shove and he actually has to prove himself, he's actually demonstrating that he isn't that great. And I think this is a really interesting lens, especially from a social media point of view, in terms of everybody is always just pushing their opinions on everybody else and feels like they can do what other people are doing and feel like they can do it even better, but actually the reality is that they can't. And also, this character is really, really dark, as he comes across as a bit of a nice guy, but actually he just knew all of the death and destruction that was going to take place and brought poor Margot / Erin into this while knowing the fatal consequence that every single person on this island is going to suffer. So this guy really was really twisted. Speaking of the Margot character, you really are rooting for her, and I thought it was really, really brilliant how she discovered that the only real moment of true joy and passion and happiness that the chef had was when he was working at a fast food restaurant, and she uses this to remind him of that happy moment, which allows him to give her the free pass to leave. And I loved the chef's monologue. I mean, I loved all of his monologues, but the one at the end of this movie was the most powerful, when he really made all of these people confront themselves, when he was like, look, you could have maybe got away with leaving this place, but why didn't you try to escape? Which I thought was so fascinating. Maybe because they're so privileged and entitled, they expected other people to do it for them. Or maybe when they were confronted with the guilt that they have been trying to push deep down inside of them, maybe this came to the surface and they ultimately felt really guilty. Or when they did see the other guy losing his finger, maybe they felt really doomed by the situation. But I have to say, that comment in particular really did stay with me after watching this film. And whilst this film is really, really impressive, especially from a presentation point of view, as well as the fact that the majority of this movie takes place in this one dining room area, I feel like, you know, the commentary around the mistreatment, the disregard, the unappreciation of service level workers has just been better depicted in other places. And you know, when you constantly push and squash people down in society, the inevitable rise of them and the confrontation that this then has, and all of the consequences and all of the fallout and all of that sort of stuff, I just have seen it being better done elsewhere. Speaking of which, let's compare this movie to other ones. So I think it's very similar to The Invitation in terms of people being invited to their demise. It's also similar to Fresh from last year, The Mist, The Purge, Ready or Not, and also Brave New World, the TV show, in terms of the difference of society, in terms of people at the top of the ladder as well as the people at the bottom of the ladder, and the inevitable rise of that and the consequences and the battles and all of that sort of stuff, like I just mentioned. So, you know, I do think The Menu is worth watching, and it definitely has got some brilliant social commentary, awesome presentation, brilliant ensemble group of characters, and some really striking big moments. But I just feel like I said right in the beginning, it's a little bit overrated. I feel like they could have done a little bit more to make it a little bit more exciting, and I just feel like the commentary it was trying to tell has just been better done elsewhere and just wasn't that innovative. But I would love for you to prove me wrong, so I'd love to hear what you think in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.